Hello learners, in this tutorial I am going to explain you how to execute select query against the Azure SQL Server database through the Databricks. So first of all I will show you how to create Azure SQL Server database, then I will show you how to configure the Jdbc connections, then I will show you how to execute basic select statement, and lastly I will explain you how to execute simple select query with the conditions through the PySpark. So as a initial step, already I have created the SQL Server in my Azure portal. So I'm going to create a database. To create database, you can go to the SQL database. Now you can see there is no any database. So simply go to the home and you can click on the database section. Then you can see no SQL database to display. So I will click on the create SQL database to create that information. Simply you have to give the subscription, and my resource group is Data Cafe RG. Then my database name will be Data Cafe DB. So server name is Data Cafe SVR01. Then then I have to edit the compute and the storage. The reason is with this configuration it's actually more than $372 per month. I think for the demonstration purpose it is a bit higher computation. So what I am going to do is I am going to configure this database and my service tier change to basic, and I will put the 100 MB as the storage. So now you can see my estimated cost per month is $4.9 USD. Then I will apply. So then I think in the basic sections we have given all the information. So still it has not, now it has updated to $4.9 per month. Then in the networking sections, no need to do anything, and security no need to do anything, keep as default. Then as a sample data set I will add some Microsoft data. So to add this you have to click on this sample AdventureWorks LT database. So to continue I will click on this OK button. Then using this sample data set I will show you how to write basic select statement. Then you have to click on the you have to go to the review sections, that all the informations it has summarized. So to create you have to click on the create button. Now you can see my initializations, initialize the deployment, then submitting the deployments. I think within few minutes it will create your database on the Azure portal. Okay, now you can see my deployment is succeeded. So if you go to the resource, it will show my database. So it will refresh. So this is my database resource group, and this is my server name, and the valuable information it has displayed. So to connect to the database you can click on the query editor preview mode. So you have to give your username and the password for this. So simply I will give my password like this. You can see there is error. The reason for that is we haven't whitelisted our my public IP for the Azure portal. So you can allow this IP on the server by click on this hyperlink, then automatically it will add. So I will click on this hyperlink, so automatically it will add it. Then I will click on the OK button. Then successfully we can connect to the Azure portal, Azure SQL Server database through the query editor. So if I expand my table menu, you can see there are multiple tables which we have taken through the sample database. So if you click on this customer, you can see there are a few records available. Likewise, go to the address and you can execute select query to retrieve that information. I think as a initial step we have configured Azure database. So now we will start our second step. So in the second step, actually we have to go to the Databricks. So in the Databricks, actually already I have created that script. So anyway, I will explain one by one. So basically what we are going to do is we are going to query SQL Server database using Databricks Pyspark. So first, as an initial step in this task, we have to create the Jdbc connection. For that, we have to take the Jdbc hostname, database, port is 1433, and other informations we have to give. So I will show you how to get the hostname. So if you go to the database, go to the home and go to this one, then you can see this is my hostname. So simply you can click on this and copy to clipboard. Then you go here and simply paste that host information. So that is our host. Then you need to go to the Azure portal to get your database name. So simply your database name is you can get from here also. Then you can paste that information there. Yeah. Likewise, you can give your Jdbc database. The Jdbc port is 1433. Then we will create the Jdbc URL. Then after that, we have to create the connection properties. Under connection properties, we have 3 properties: user and the password and driver. So my user will be Data Cafe admin. I will put that information, Data Cafe admin. My password will be admin123. Then driver. So I think we have given the relevant informations for the Jdbc connection. So to execute, I will click on this button and click on the run cell. And I think as of now that cluster is not up and running. Anyway, I am going to start. First, I will going to start my cluster. Then I will execute this. Yeah. So the reason for that is when I am executing this one. So you can see the cluster is this notebook is not attached to the cluster. The reason is we have a cluster, but I haven't attached that notebook with the cluster. So what I'm going to do is I cancel this message, and you can see there is a detached menu. It means that notebook has not attached with the cluster. So simply I will click on this df cluster. So it is up and running. So I attach. So then I can execute this command. Then yeah, you can see successfully executed. Then I think we have successfully created the Jdbc connections. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to query the execute SQL query to read data through the Jdbc connections and retrieve all the data from the source table. So simply I'm going to execute the select query for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to retrieve all the information in the customer table. So the same thing we can do with the Azure portal. Again, I will open my query editor and give the username and the password. Already I have whitelist my IP, so there won't be any problem. So you can see if I expand my table, then there is a table called customer. So right click on that and select top 1000. So you can see then yeah, its query is running. Yeah, you can see that information has retrieved from the database. So same query we can take from the query editor and paste under this location. Okay, so for that, simply you have to include that information inside the brackets and you have to paste that one. So you have to remove that top thousands. No need to have those informations. And also we have to remove that brackets like this. And we have to put alias. Like this. So after that, what you can do is simply we have read our data through the Jdbc URL, and my query name is customers query. I have passed that information for the table. Then I will pass properties from the connection properties. So first of all, we will display all the informations from this data frame. So I will execute this one. Again, I will clear all the outputs. Now you can see this is my query. So I will execute it again. You can see that information has retrieved from the customer table. So if we take the record count of this table, it's about like this, 847. So same thing I'm going to retrieve from here, df dot count. From that it will count the same record count. So I think now you have clear understanding how to execute select query against the Azure SQL Server database through the Databricks Pyspark. And this is my final example. From that, actually based on the filter criteria, I'm going to retrieve the informations from the Azure SQL Server database. For that, basically we can get informations from the, for example, let's say address. From that address table we can get all the informations. So let's say we will take all the informations. We can add where conditions for that. Let's say state province, let's say it's like to Texas. We will that inside the single brackets and get the record count. So I think there will be less number of records. Anyway, we will count the record using this query like this, and I will execute. You can see 40 records is available for this SQL query. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same SQL query for my notebook, and I will paste that inside this bracket. So I will remove that informations and include all, and you have to remove that square brackets like this, and at the end you have to put alias like this. So initially what I can do is I can display that output. So you can see my query is address query. I will pass to the data frame, and along with that I will pass the connection property. So now I will execute this query. So you can see that informations we have taken. You can see show all 40 records already we have taken. Anyway, instead of executing display, I will execute the count query to get exact record count. So you can see my record count is 40. So I think we have successfully done that exercise. So as I explained earlier, initially I have created the Azure SQL Server database on the Azure portal. Then I configured the Jdbc connection, and after that I execute simple select query against the Azure SQL Server database through the PySpark. And finally I explain you how to how to execute simple select statement with the condition. So I think that is the today video tutorial. I think you have clear understanding about how to query Azure SQL Server database. So if you have any questions, you can put on the comment sections, and you can share your feedback in the comment sections. And thank you.